Hey, it's the Chief Bonding with Board Games, and I'm here with Trevor just again.
Hey,
Hello, Trevor. We got Vorpal's in here. Some other folks will come to talk about who's in here in a bit. Of course, this is the HAMTAG follow-up to most anticipated games of 2022, but done with what the fans have listed. So we will be going into what the fans have listed. There's some great lists out there. So Trevor put those together and we'll share. But Trevor, before we go further, and we can talk about anything, but behind your shoulder are a couple games that I'm waiting and expecting to come my way as well. What do you got?
I bet you everyone is looking to the next in the Great American Battle Civil Wars, Shiloh, right? That's what we're looking at.
Brutal. Yes, yeah. Brutal battle. Looks cool. Wow, back of the box. And then the weightlifting thing behind that one.
Yeah. So this Mamma Jamma, I haven't opened it yet. It arrived yesterday. GMT sent me a nice note saying that I won their raffle for the 2 New Games Awards. For all of you who wonder how you make that happen, you posted on YouTube saying you won the raffle for their 2 new games. So
beautiful. That thing is huge. The side of the box was like the width of your hand.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like bigger than my head.
Woo. 5 pounds is what I was told that thing runs.
5 pounds seems like a lie. This is more than the 10-pound range.
Really? Okay, maybe you're right. You're right. You know what? It might have said 10 pounds. That is crazy.
Yeah, 5 pounds might have been
I bet you, because I've got Plains Indian Wars coming as well, and I bet you're right. I bet you you are right, because I remember thinking that's a lot of game, 10 pounds. Let's see who's in here, and then we'll circle back. Vorpal Bite is in. What's he saying here? If you are ugly and you know it, clap your hands. I think he's clapping at home. Vorpal's clapping, Trevor. He makes fun of the he makes fun of the beard and the curled up stash, which I've been messing with, and we'll see how long the work commanders look at me funny with this stash. But I'm lucky. I have an acting captain right now who is a history buff. I'm going to get him in the games. I've told him. I was showing him, here I stand. But I said, hey, if you want me to get rid of this, I'll trim it up. And he goes, I kind of like it. Reminds me of the Civil War.
I mean, if you were Oakland A's 70s ball player, they'd pay you extra for that.
Woo, there you go. See, so Vorpal is clapping. There we go. It's showtime. And he's talking about SPI Monster Game.
I'm pretty sure he's thinking Pacific War is an SPI Monster Game, because it's
yes,
that box is about as big as Atlantic Wall, or
it's huge. And Magnus is in. Let the fun begin. Beautiful. Let's see. We got Sean Torno. Good morning, y'all.
Oh,
and then we've got Curiosities is in. He is in from Michigan. A big OG there. He was at early Avalon Cons before they were called Avalon Cons. So let's see. And then what else here? What really happening, fellows? Tom D. And then yeah, the fingers stash. And we got good mornings coming in. So what we will be sharing is you've done up a nice PowerPoint with all the commenters that have come in and listed their 5. We'll be sharing that. You've referenced those games have come in. Another buddy of mine, Wes Jolly in Colorado Springs, he sent me a picture that he got Plains Indian Wars had arrived. I'm waiting on my Plains Indian Wars and my Pacific War, and I received notice that it shipped, but the tracking number's not good yet, which means they probably haven't picked it up and scanned it in yet. So
I'm like 2 hours away from the factory. Mine says yours isn't created, and then it says arriving today.
It has showed up.
Yeah.
They're right out of the warehouse. You got it.
I think Tony drives it to my house.
Ooh, I like that. Gadoush Hole. Hello from Germany. Hello, right. Was ist los?
We got some good mornings and good afternoons.
That's it. I love it. Perfect timing. So let's see. In world-wise, I know you're doing a lot with baseball. So just what have you been up to in general?
Yeah, so if I look tired, it's because we did opening day for Little League yesterday. The kids and the board of directors got together and we agreed on giving me a 20% raise, being part of the board, so I still get paid nothing, and having a season. So I was out there from a little bit before 8 till about 6 p.m. yesterday.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, that is something. Now, work's been busy, but not with like crime fighting. I'm at the sergeant level, and I was telling Trevor that the new thing for law enforcement, which is a good thing, is general officer wellness. We all want that. I'm the head of a critical incident stress management team, which responds if an officer is shot, shoots somebody, or is out on a fatality accident that's bad, or children deaths are bad. But we met with some Metro Nashville officers that I was telling Trevor, I thought it was going to be one of those kind of corporate style meetings where you talk about what you might meet on in the future and then figure out if how many of the meetings should have on the meet. I was humbled. It was a great meeting. And matter of fact, I'll throw out his name. He had a great last name, Gooch, Lieutenant Gooch. And with that name alone, I should have known it was going to go good. So my week was some meetings, but they were very good meetings. And I got to admit, IACP, International Association of Chiefs of Police, they are concerned about a more taking care of a lot of the officers, both on the mental front and the physical front as well. So that's what I was doing. Oh, here we got some baseball stuff going on here.
Yeah, so Vorpal's wanting to know the team names. I'm managing 2 teams. So my 2 oldest boys are about a year and a half apart. So they're the major Cardinals. We special ordered some baby blue Cardinal jerseys. And then my AA team, because I'm on the board, I'm like, look, I'm going to order my own jerseys. So we got the Expos. So
nice.
And we're doing baby blues as well, because you can't go wrong.
Well, and you talked about it. So for you, baseball, you said if you were playing a sport, it's hockey, right?
Yeah.
But
so I played baseball and hockey all the way till high school. My senior year dislocated my throwing arm shoulder, so kind of ended that career. But you don't really need to lift your arm up too much in hockey, so I played all the way through college. So
wow,
hockey, I love playing hockey, but baseball, the romance of it, I'm one of those guys who was born in the 80s who still actually loves baseball. So
perfect. Well, I got to admit, my dad played basketball in college, but he played baseball in high school and everything. And he loved watching baseball. And what killed me in the 80s was I didn't like watching baseball on TV. But as I got older, the Colorado Rockies were created. Yep. And I will admit, had I been exposed at a younger age, because I remember it was like a Thursday game, and they had what they called the rock pile seats, which were terrible seats, but they only cost $1. Of course, they're trying to get people in because then you're buying $5 beers and $5 nachos. But we went as a group because a bunch, we're all young kids and we've got Thursdays off. So we go in for an afternoon game, and seeing all the little things that are going on at the bullpen or the warm up or what the coach is doing on third base. I mean, I was like, wow, I'm used to just, and then I'm like, wow, I love the technology of, I can see the speed of the ball and the pitch and where it hits. Being there in person was way better.
Nice. Yep.
Sorry. He couldn't have been any good. He has a front teeth. Maybe those are false front teeth.
I was okay. I went to San Jose State, so we were Division II. So I didn't do those East Coast cold colleges.
Well, Magnus is good. Magnus, I knew what you were saying, Magnus. And yes, don't be trying to type and spell while driving. That's not good. Let's see. Kira, since I did not submit a list, I will reply if someone's game is on my list. Well, that sounds good. Tom D, and then we'll get into lists. Let me catch up on these. Wait until you get into the high school baseball. Drama, my son is starting pitcher around a few others.
Nice.
Okay. Interesting. Wait, you're a police officer. I did not say that. No, well, I'm not in German or Sweden, so you're good. You're good. And then let's see. The Troubles will be hopefully available this year. What is this?
That's a game.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I'll admit I've been watching a ton of college baseball because, again, about the highest level you can get right now. So, yeah, lots of baseball.
All right. Well, we're going to roll this through, and you've set this up, so I'll let you kind of highlight it as we go, and I'll adjust our cameras around.
Right on. So we're going to start with my favorite list from my friend and put it into the chat. So I had to put it on here to start this off right. So Kabuki wants more David Thompson. So I'm totally with it. I mean, we've had his games on our list for a while. So Undaunted, Lazarus Ridge, we talked about. Sniper Elite's going to be a hidden movement, and Resist is a little 20-30 minute solo game about 1936 Spain.
Really?
And it looks sweet. And then you can play it forward and talk yourself out of World War II the whole time.
And I love the art they're showing there too. Let me bring that back. That is really cool.
And I think we can all agree David Thompson is a fine looking man.
So. Yes. Yeah, look at that. Even with the beard, I bet you even Vorpal's like, man, that's a good looking beard.
I know. He is not clapping for sure. No clapping for David.
I love it. Well, great list from Kabuki.
All right. Chris here got some good games on this one. Musket and Pike, this new GMT they're coming out with the pack for it. I was interested in A Glorious Chance. This is a massive solo game about you're either the the British or the U.S. in Lake Ontario.
Good save there.
Yeah. I guess this was a print and play. So probably 5-6 years ago. And it looks like a meaty one-player game, so I like it. Italia is the World War I battle in Italy. And, I think Skies Over Britain, a lot of us, I think was a couple of years ago supposed to be out, but
well, Skies Over Britain is really cool. So I'm let me look in here at Gina. My eyes are terrible. Gina Wills, is that right?
Yeah, Gina Willis, and she actually did A Glorious Chance too, so she's on there twice.
Mm-hmm. She had seen, gosh darn it, what is it above the skies?
Yeah.
And then which is the ME 109s and the Stoffels that you're controlling. Hold on, I'm talking to the camera and we're not even on. The Stoffels that you're controlling your different flight groups, German flight groups with ME 109s generally, and you're attacking these boxes of B-17s and trying to take them down. And then they came out with the standalone expansion, which I'm blanking on the name. Someone will throw it in, or you'll throw it in. Skies, yep. And then what you had was FW-190s and some others going against B-24s. But that popped in the idea of Skies Above Britain, which sounds great because you're completely, of course, flipping that around, and the Brits, at least if they're shot down, the Great Britain, if they're shot down, or the Commonwealth even, they're able to get back into planes, get back in the action. So it's a nice flip around. I'm waiting to see the new art as they come about, but that's been moving up, and that's got my interest as well.
Yeah, that whole system I haven't gotten into yet, but I keep hearing lots of great things. I mean, you're a
Skies Above the Reich.
Bingo. Yeah, air during World War II seems to be one of your hot spots. So,
well, I love the B-17. What's really interesting is it was the first time that I had seen a designer take that bomber box and actually kind of model what it's the terror of coming in on a bomber box and what those B-17s and B-24s were doing. And I'd read about it. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to forget. It's the one with the B-17 bomber pilot, Charlie Brown. And I can't believe it's a higher call, higher call. Wonderful, phenomenal book. I'm forgetting the name of the German fighter. He ends up escorting this damaged B-17 kind of back, but he explained how terrifying it was to come into these tracer rounds that are just coming from everywhere. And it's going to be interesting to see it from the Battle of Britain side. So that one actually does have my interest here. Let's see what's going on here. I missed a couple. Not an easy game to win. And by win, I mean survive. Yeah, it's real tough. And then you get it feels like that bomber box is moving, because as you're coming through, if you're going to set up, you either come back in on a track that maybe isn't that favorable for you, or you got to spend time and energy to come back around and shoot it again from a more favorable, which means you're not going to get as many runs on the bomber stream. So it's very, very interesting as far as a creative game space. It looks weird. When people see the board, they're like, what?
Yeah. Vorpal asked a question about Blackbeard, the GMT second edition. That's a huge no. That's way too much. I've heard from everybody that the second edition streamlines it a lot, but then takes away a lot of the character of it. The first edition one, which it does have more fiddliness, but it's going to give you the pirate feel. And I've seen the second edition Blackbeard, $5 you can find.
Yep.
The first one's the one that you would pay a little bit more for.
Yep, I've heard that and seen that as well. So who's on first? Been waiting a long time for Glorious Chance.
Yeah. It looks, that Glorious Chance game it's not a simple, don't think a solo game like State of Siege. This thing is stating it's like 2 to 4 hours. So you're gonna get your money's worth for that one for sure.
Let's see. Chris McDaniels, great dude. He's recently gotten into war style games. Yes. And then we're back into that. And then here's Vorpal. What is he? Oh, yeah, that was his Torpedo 8. And then boom. Thank you for review, Blackbeard.
You can just send the $50 to the YouTube channel, and we will use that to buy better games.
All right.
There you go.
All right, good great list.
Yeah, good list, Chris. I like this. All right, so Rick, I'm gonna call Rick out the same as we got called out, right?
Yes.
Rick has Race to Moscow and Total Domination, which were on there last year. I was going through looking at last year's, and Rick, just like us, is like, hey, these games didn't come out. Still looking forward to them. Yep. So I know Total Domination was one of your desired games, right, from last year.
Yeah, the designer, I'm blanking on his name, but yeah, from Taiwan.
Yeah.
And then Race to Moscow just showed up. I was going crazy all week, but I filmed an unboxing. I've yet to look at my video. One of my lights I'm nervous because at the end I was like, ooh, I might have a glare problem. We're going to get in and take a look at it. You can't really redo an unboxing, so we'll see. We'll see how good or bad it is. I think it'll be okay. Last week I got Race to Moscow in. Board looks great. I know some people are saying that some of the rules look like they're whoops, I'm talking again and I'm not on. Some of the rules look a little bit like they're not as fleshed out as they should be. I haven't even had a chance to read it yet because I also got the expansion of Canvas. Yep. My wife loves this. It's the translucent cards that go into a sleeve, and you're basically making a painting out of 3 different types of cards. And I'm blanking on it, and I had it. It was like a wood elf game that you were doing the same thing, and I can't remember the name. It'll come to me, but I had that. I love this idea of layering, and it does feel like you're painting a little bit. So both those showed up, but I'll let you go ahead and let's reference these again, because you're right. Obviously I'm in line with a lot of these too.
Yeah, I mean, race to Moscow and Total Domination. I think the Phalanx games, right? They
Yes.
look gorgeous. Coalitions was on mine. That's the Andrew Rourke who's doing the Napoleonic series, right? This is, I think, third or fourth one in the series. So
yeah, he's got all these. There'll be other expansions. This is like the original, really. There's all these other spin-offs and then things that'll take it in different directions. So it looks like they're planning on that being huge.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is again, this list, if I got these 5 games this year, I think I'd be happy for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that Mr. President, it's solitaire game by Gene Billingsley. It looks like it's going to be great solitaire fun where you're having to deal with all these, you're having to deal with somebody's moving into another country and, they're claiming you're the reason and all this kind of stuff that's going on. And again, we're looking at St. Patrick. Whoa, hold on. I hit a button. And that beautiful box. Banish the snakes. Woo.
Speaking of art, yeah, the canvas right there.
Yeah, that one just, I kept looking at it thinking, I don't know. And when they hit that art, when that art came out, I thought, oh my gosh, who did this art? It is gorgeous. And I can't remember his name, but it looks like beautiful fresco.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Rick, good list. I mean, I think both Bart and I, these are 5 games we're all looking forward to for sure.
Definitely. There was Chris back here. Vorpal coming in. Fake building fronts, Vietnam collection. Got it.
All right. So Mad Coke. So these were 2 of the games on here I had not heard of. Now, I'll be honest, I have not played Space Empires. I've heard it's amazing. It just
right. I'm there with you.
Never crossed my path. Okay, so I had this earlier. We'll go to Pure Land. Pure Land is the 14th in the line of coin series. So it's a coin game in Japan. And I'm excited about it because I love playing that, kind of late medieval era of Japan. And coin series in it seems sweet. So I'm in.
Well, I'm just astounded. The Roman numerals, I've got to do the same thing. Pretty soon they're going to be on like, this is the 32nd game in the coin. And I'll be like, I don't even know what those letters, numbers mean anymore. I can't tell. I can't tell. And that's the 14th.
I know number 1 was Cuba Libre. How about that? We're good.
Yeah. And that was 2. Yeah. Andean Abyss was the
Andean Abyss was 1.
Yes. But I mean, it's amazing how the system, I kind of fallen away from it. I don't play with the bots and I know that the 2 players and the 2-player versions are coming out, but boy, we've got on here. I'll let you get to it there in the number order. Is it number 4? I've got my screen is too far away.
Yeah, number 4 is the Red Dust Rebellion. That's the other coin game that I know you're super jazzed about.
Yeah, the idea of taking it out of the historic context, creating that those problems, those issues, those struggles 100 years into the future, 120 years into the future, whatever it is. And the art looks gorgeous. They really, they've got a religious faction and some folks that can, I think, live above the surface for a little bit, or maybe they're a little bit of a mutant kind of thing. I don't know. It looks great. The dystopian nature on Mars. It looks really fun.
All right. So this number 3 one is the one that I had to look at. Let me see if I can get this one. It's Vijaya Nagara.
Well done.
So it's inspired from the coin series. What the heck do you call it? It's called Irregular Conflict series. So it's they're taking basically coin and kind of making a new series out of it. But this is medieval India for about 100-year span between 1290 and 1398. And the game says it plays 90 minutes. It's not like 90 minutes to 3 hours. It says 90 minutes. So
wow,
this might be something that I can definitely get on the table if 90 minutes, get this played with the kids. It says 1 to 3 players. So I'm excited about that one, and just a new series, right? Because coin, we kind of know what to expect, but if this is, a little bit different, then I'm jazzed about that one.
Yeah, so different genre. I mean, wasn't even on my radar. I think I've seen it, but that is part of what I would say, kind of as a whole, and then in particular with GMT, of where all this gaming stuff is going. I mean, it's just really, it's just quite amazing. I would have never thought, I mean, in the 80s, I would say, what would you say? 80% of games were board games were World War II based, if not 90.
Yeah, it was World War II, Civil War, Napoleon, and that's about it.
Right. Well, there you go. Yeah, it was those three things. And now we're getting into these, I mean, just very, very interesting paths that are being taken.
Yep.
Let's see. Good. All right.
Liberty Death is the most, I think it's the most different of all of them. There's a lot of things that Harold Buchanan did differently with that. So I know a lot of people either say Liberty or Death is their least favorite or is their favorite because of the, Harold's brain works differently than most of us, I think. So he's a mad genius for sure.
Love it.
He actually he designed originally a Tank Duel. He designed the majority of it, and then he kind of handed it over and let Mike finish it. So it's his brain working. You can see it in that game for sure. All right, awesome list, by the way. These two specifically, the Indian Civil War and Pure Land, I'm excited about.
Yeah, very interesting.
All right, so Cliff has a lot of stuff that was on here last year. ISS Vanguard, Shadows, Trudvang, Car Wars. I think we're all on his list last time.
Got it.
And I think we're all looking forward to these, right? The ISS Vanguard, I think you and I both want to get this to the table.
Yeah, Vanguard. It just looks so cinematic. The ship book, there's some people got nervous because they've changed some things around, but I trust them to, what they've been doing. Awaken Realms, what they've been up to has been good. I think, what was the Dreaming one? I waited for the one single shipment, so I haven't gotten it yet. Someone will know in the comments. I can't remember that one. Some people didn't like how the dreams would kind of, there were side slumbers or something, but what he's doing with this space, or what they are doing with this space game, looks great. I love the idea that you're flipping through this ship book and you've got troops that are in the med bay and they're slowly healing and you're moving them around, or folks are educating in different stuff. That is right up my alley. I'm
with you. So I pointed out Perseverance here. It's the only one that got 2 pictures. So this is, I had to write this one down. It is a deck building and dice game, more area majority, but it's got little dino minis, and the dinosaur minis look sweet. So I might just get it for the dinosaurs because
yeah, that'll be Judd too. Judd loves anything with a dinosaur in it.
All right, throw those in there.
That looks cool. I don't know that too much. Now, real quick, Vorpal, is Tank Duel a good game? It's a different kind of game. First of all, there's no dice. It uses, if you've played Title Bout, you're flipping a card for the resolution and you're looking at the card depending on what you're doing. Is it range? Is it to hit? Is it on fire? Whatever. So that action plays, and it plays like a first-person shooter like War of Tanks, but with this cards and with you moving, and you've got to be able to have the imagination. And Vorpal, I know you like your minis, so you may not like it because you got to be able to picture your tank in space based on distance that is tracked on the player boards and whether or not somebody's spotted or not. But it's thematic but it's thematic in a way that is almost kind of like some role-playing games are, where it's theater of the mind to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And with your tank board, kind of well, not kind of, it's your tracking and what if you've got somebody spotted, and if you're in mud, you can play that on somebody else. So there's some of that.
Tank Duel also has the advantage of you can play it solo, and I think that's kind of where it's designed, or I guess more solitaire, because you can play it 2 or 3 players. But
right.
The coolest thing is you can, if you go to a convention, you can play it 8 players, 16 players, where it's a group of tanks against each other, and it really doesn't suffer at all, because it's still similar. So
yes, Etherfields is it. And what's neat, like a first-person shooter where you're dropping in when you get killed, you revert back to like the start location, grab a new tank, whatever that is, and you're back in the battle. But if you're getting killed all the time, what you're handing is victory points to the other team. They get victory points for taking out the tank, and they get victory points for killing crew members.
Yep.
So you don't want to be just recklessly rolling around and getting killed and then restarting, because you will lose the point system for your team, whether you're playing, 1 versus 1 or group versus group. So it's got a neat aspect. And then as they come out with these different tank boards, you can be doing different styles of things with different tanks. And I haven't played it enough to really tell you how that feels. As your Stuart, a great little tank that can go scout things out, get things spotted. I don't know. I haven't been able to kind of get that level in.
Yeah, they have a lot of these like little tank iOS games or video games, and it feels very similar to that.
Yeah, Vorpal likes his minis, and that's totally cool. So Vorpal, I don't think you would like it. I mean, I know guys and gals that love watching the dice bounce and move and what's going to happen, and they don't like card flips as much. And it is a different feel. I probably lean toward dice, but what Trunzo did with his card flipping, and then I can't remember the Gladiator game he did using the card flips, is my favorite Gladiator game, and now I can't remember the name of it. Something Ludus, and I can't recall it. So a good solid pewter T55 and 1/30th scale. I am spoiled. Whoop whoop. There's the miniature nerd coming out, brother.
Gotta get that painted up.
That's it.
That looks sweet.
So great list there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you get these games, you could play these 5 for 5 years, because Shadows of Brimstone and Trudvang, I think, will last you a year, because they're big in-depth games for sure.
Right. Yeah, Shadows of Brimstone did not hit with me at all. So I ordered it in early Kickstarter, and then I sat down and played with a group at board game night, and I was like, yeah, and I sold it off. But that's just me.
It's okay. Yeah, if you sell it, you can probably make a profit on it. So
I did okay. Yeah, I did okay on that.
All right, I think this is the last of our list here. So Hilltown got the Red Dust Rebellion and this Stonewall Uprising. I was checking this one out. This is an abstract, like government versus I don't know what you call it, like the people, I guess, or they call it the Pride, I think, and it's supposed to mimic like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, the what do you call
psychedelic?
Yeah, kind of the psychedelics, but more of the protests that were happening. Not that any of that's happening nowadays.
Sure,
protests happening. Yeah,
kind of like the what was it, like flower power movement kind of thing?
Yeah, so flower power, it can imitate that. The gay pride, the whole civil rights movement going on. So it's all the government card based. Seemed like a sweet little game. It's like 30 minutes head to head. So you can be the authoritarian government, or you can be the truckers. I don't know. You choose.
Got it. looking at this real quick. So Tom D, tank dual card system similar to Combat Commander, right? I would say not really. I don't know. It's way more. Well, that's why I kind of referenced Title Bout. You're going to do X, and then you're flipping a card. I'm going to shoot, or you might decide to move to cover or something. But then you're flipping a card to see if you're able to do it, and then the other players might have cards that they can interrupt, or they can throw a terrain on you, like a mud or I don't know. It feels a little bit like the whole up front kind of thing too, but not that either. So I don't know if I could describe it right.
I think a couple of some drunk guy just jumped into chat.
Uh-oh. What are we? Am I missing it? All the way to the bottom.
It's another baseball guy.
Is Judd? Oh, Judd's in. Look at this. Judd, look at that. All right, I missed a bunch of comments coming in. Let me catch up on these, and we'll work back in here. Let's see. What did Vorpal say here? Weird colors, so he doesn't like colors on the box. I got busy, forgot to submit a list. That happens. No problem with that. Let's see. I'm very interested. This is David, in seeing the Vietnam war game Purple Haze by Phalanx when it comes out in 2022. 2023, I bet you. I think they might have even said 2023. They're probably hopeful for 22. But they had a successful Kickstarter with 2 or 3 expansions or add-ons. I guarantee it won't be 2022. It does look very, very fun. We talked about that last week. Ogre and all those mini games were so much fun. I wanted to pick up some again, and they're so expensive now. Like Car Wars and stuff. I do have that giant Ogre box. So again, we have Judd.
I'm going to show this to Judd because he says,
let me put you on.
Anticipating anything, but
me too, Judd.
You know who designed this? Hello.
Yeah, I know. Look at that. He's going crazy. Going crazy right there. Let's see. What do we got here? Hold on. Modular Revolt of Antares. I think I've heard of that, but I can't remember it. I can thank Judd for one, the Band of Brothers Kickstarter.
Yeah, I blame Judd for that one too.
Yeah. Chief did a Purple Haze review. Yep. I also had James Buckley on, who kind of did a walkthrough. Excuse me. Judd, HAMTAG. Let's see. More Purple Haze love. This is what I'm talking about with Purple Haze too. I mean, imagine that game. I mean, we're in this beautiful space where so many different things are coming out. And I hope it lasts, because that in and of itself, is harken back to me to Ambush, to Choose Your Own Adventure, to role-playing elements, and to see it all come together. And I enjoyed the preview copy I got, which they told me multiple times, hey, we changed some stats. Don't get hung up on the stats. They changed tokens. They sent me 2 sets of tokens. I tried them both and said, yeah, I like this other version. They said, well, that's what we're doing. And so they said they'd been trying a couple different, because you're drawing chits out of the bag, and they said, yeah, you're using the new version. We should have told you.
I forgot. We got one more slide. I forgot there was a late entry.
Ooh, all right.
Got one more here.
Okay. You let me know, and then
we're on it. Pull it up.
Okay.
All right. So a gray day.
Oh, yeah.
Just reminded me of this one. So, the 2 on here I'm looking forward to. So we'll talk about this after, but I had to go on and pre-order a couple of games, one of them being Plains Indians War after last week. I was like, hey,
yes.
Games people talking about. Halls of Montezuma, the new one from Fort Circle.
Yes.
Looks fantastic. And if they can take what Halls of Montezuma, the CDG type game was from GMT, and make that into like a Fort Circle, what they did, where it's very approachable.
Right, exactly.
But the Nagashino 1575, this I also went on and ordered. It's a pain to find, but this is a new series dedicated to the Sengoku Judai.
Wow.
Area impulse. It looks like the games are all about 60 to maybe 120-ish minutes. Yeah, this looks fantastic. And again, I already talked about that. I love playing that time in Japan.
Medieval Japan.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So that another pre-order. I mean, for those of you who don't know how to do this, I won a raffle from them, and they're going to send me the game. Got to put that on the receipt, so when it shows up, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and then of course they've got what is that? I'm forgetting the name, but it's Iron Sworn. Is it Starforged, I believe?
Yeah,
that was on my list. I keep forgetting the subclass of Starforged. So Iron Sworn is a role-playing system that works well with solo or non-GM or co-op. And I've never quite been as much into the fantasy element or even high fantasy. But boy, you take that system, throw it into sci-fi, and I want to purchase that as well.
Yep, I'm with you.
What is the my eyes again? The coming soon, is that sword and what is that?
Sword and sorcery.
So I haven't even heard of that.
It was a big Kickstarter back in 2015, 16-ish. And it came out with a second version, which is just more stuff, and that is it.
Wow. And I'm with you on the Halls of Montezuma, that Fort Circle and what they're doing with their historical games, and making them approachable. And I mean, I'm with you again. A very nice production value.
Yeah, and it's one of those, like I said, I play with the kids a lot. So if I can play it in 30 minutes to an hour, maybe hour and a half, it keeps them interested. They can see it to the end, so just makes it work better.
Got it. Let me pull this back in, and then what did we have here? Vorpal Bite, fantastic. Need to check it out. Not sure what that was. Judd's photo. They love Judd's photo, which is this, like that. I think that was him. Was that your college photo, Judd? I don't think so. Maybe afterward. I can't come up with I'm anticipating.
Yeah,
Purple Haze.
Doesn't look forward to games. It's
yes. What do we got here? Malta Besieged is the big one. All right.
Yeah, Malta Besieged is I think it's the reprint from what's his name? Something Casey, guy who did We Must Tell the Emperor, the State of Siege game.
Oh yeah.
But the idea that he's getting his games reprinted. Funny story about that. So as soon as so I forget his name, Matt Casey, I think. So he deleted his BGG account because I'm sure too many people saying, "Hey, can you get these reprinted?" And once Malta Besieged went, saying it was going to be reprinted, I went and sold my We Must Tell the Emperor and the expansion for 5 times what it's worth. Because I'm like, look, in 3-4 years, it's going to get reprinted.
Sure. Well, we're in great times. Look at Pacific War. I never, ever thought that would be reprinted. I have a copy of it, and I'm like, well, I can't let go of that. That'll never get reprinted. And then boom.
Steve, thank you.
What was Steve's deal? I haven't gone down.
That's the guy who designed Malta Besieged and
gotcha.
We Must Tell the Emperor.
Got it. So let's see. We'll catch up here. Chief, what's the picture on the colorful box? I couldn't quite tell myself. It looked like different characters that are responding with different colors. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Let's see. Judd's got Mark Civil War game. Looks pretty cool. I don't think GMT will have the Great Battles of History Caesar game or Napoleonics expansion number 8 ready before end of year. Yeah, what Mark's game is Rebel Fury. Is that the one you're referencing that's on the same Gettysburg and Waterloo system?
He's got Mark Herman has a new one with Jeff Engelstein that I'm excited to see first if it comes out, but also it's on Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus, and it looks to be similar to like a Churchill or tragedy type.
Right.
But I'd love to see that one.
Yeah. Again, that's where these neat concepts are coming in. Vorpal loves my hand gestures, by the way. So I'm going to keep doing jazz hands. Looking forward to Shake's Shaco's 1815 game. Sorry, bad eyes. Let's see, what is this? Thanks to Chief for Purple Haze review. They helped me pull the trigger on the Kickstarter. Good. Well, let Phalanx know too. They're really good. They'll reach out to me with different, hey, would you be interested in this kind of preview? And generally, I like what they're doing. It's not like always, though. And sometimes they'll say, hey, my schedule's too full. They showed me that Purple Haze. I think they sent me the cover and they said, would you be interested? I go, this looks Vietnam with a very cool cover. And they said, yeah, it's Marines. And then they kind of told me the premise. I'm like, oh, yeah. And then I said, how about I do an interview as well? Because I'm like, this is way up my wheelhouse here. Combat is a lot like Ambush was. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that as well. David K., what were your thoughts about any Ukraine versus Russia war games if they were to come out during or just after the conflict? Would it be too soon and not tasteful? Great topic. So let's talk about it. Yeah, I actually do think it would be too soon. I got a little bit. I'm doing playthroughs of Twilight 2000, which are World War III Poland in an alternate history of 2000. And even it crossed my mind, do I keep doing my show while just to the south and east basically is Ukraine going on? I mean, I'm going to keep doing my show on it, but so I know it'll be gamed in the future. You're going to have that overwhelming power coming in, and you're going to have that asymmetric, guerrilla type fighting, especially as they get into the cities. But the one thing board gaming's done for me, I've mentioned this with B-17 Queen of the Skies and having been in the military, is it's also very real. So from this end, you're seeing little video clips or whatever, you'll see the devastation of a city block. And then I know there's people there, there's civilians there, and then there's men moving around on both sides. And, some of the captured Russians saying they're conscripts. They didn't even know they were going into Ukraine. And then all the brinksmanship up at the high level. But I always devolve down, or maybe not devolve, maybe it's evolved down to that man on the street or that person on the street. So what's going on there is bad. What's probably surprised me the most, even as the sabers were rattling, I thought, oh, come on, Putin's just going to push and get some concessions. Because who invades a country in Europe now? I mean, we're 2022. Get out of here. So I was surprised. I will tell you probably the check Russell Brand. He's got a very good breakdown, kind of looks at all sides, but the protesting going on in like St. Petersburg in Russia, the mass arrests of their citizens. I don't know. I hope we're at a point where social media to the good, or what Musk is doing with his, forgetting the name of his satellites. I forget what they're called, but he turned them on. He said if he's sending receivers to the Ukraine so they can get word out, because with all this, you will see the truth captured at the street level. My take. What's your thought, Trevor? Wow, do we have the same?
I think you and I have the same leather background. I just saw that.
Wow, my brother of another mother.
So, yeah, I mean, is it too soon? Yeah. So here's kind of how I'll look at it. There are people that we play, war games with, and they don't want to play Vietnam games because they think it's too soon.
Right.
If you look at my number one game, which was Free at Last, right? A lot of people are going to balk at that because it's still too fresh, right? I remember when Brotherhood and Unity came out last year, which is, I just forgot, in the Balkans, right? That, for me, that felt too soon, because I remember that, 15, 20 years ago. Well, it's probably longer than that now, but that felt too soon for me. Like I didn't want to game it. And I know it's an amazing game. I just, I bypassed it.
Sure.
So
yeah,
for us in America, like, what's the time frame? Probably 10, 15 years. If you're in Europe, it might be a little bit longer, right?
Yeah. And the other thing I look at historically, try with a long lens, is look how close and friendly we are with both Germany and Japan. So I do my best not to demonize the other side. I don't like what's going on, but there's a lot of government stuff that I don't like going on in my own government or in neighboring governments or in the Russian government. And my hope is that, again, so even from the police standpoint, we'll break it down to police. So everybody's got a high def, heck, 4K 1080p video camera phone. And I think that's good. It's the same reason as a cop, I'll have, especially in Kansas, I'll have people come up and say, what do you think of citizens being able to conceal carry or even open carry? Good. All right. I'm here to police when bad things happen, and citizens, I think, are 98% of citizens are good. So, and if cops start to become afraid of the citizens, then you are living in a bad, bad place. And I've got to remind the cops of that too. And so, I always try to, I've had some friends, military buddies that have gotten hold of me and stuff and being like, man, we should be going in there. They want the U.S. to be going. I'm like, no, I mean, I wish it hadn't happened, and I don't have a problem supplying defenders with weapons in their country, but I don't think we should have U.S. boots or planes in that area. So that's me. I'm getting crazy now. This is going to get defunded.
Hey, you only mentioned skies above,
Right.
Yep.
Let me look at some comments before I say something too crazy.
I'm not sure that's going to help you.
No. I know. I'll have to take a look as they go here. You know what? If they defund it, they defund it. I make about 92 cents per video.
Hey, that's a little bit less than the $50 we saved someone from buying a.
Exactly. So that was the what are your thoughts? I think we've shared that. Again, my thoughts are always with remember there's flesh and blood people there on both sides. Sword and Sorcerers, is that an old role-playing game? I don't know. Do you know was it an old board game? I mean, I guess they were all sword and something.
It's a massive the Sword and Sorcery one that is on that list is a massive Kickstarter fantasy. Think Gloomhaven, but just in a different world.
Got it. Hey, Tom D, go to Phalanx. I think you can still maybe come in and do a late pledge. You don't get maybe all the same perks, but it's pretty close. So go check that out. I think you'll like it. Let's see. Band of Brothers, Guadalcanal will be cool. I doubt it will arrive in 2022, though, says Judd. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Tom D, I should have bought same deal. So sorry.
Yep.
Mark Herman's GMT, Rebel Fury. Yep, on my list too, Judd. And Fall of Saigon, Fire in the Lake expansion. Yeah, Herman's on fire.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, what? That's your high school senior photo? No way. That can't be Judd in high school. That's Judd like senior in college. You were like trying to get into the Greek club or something with that photo. I don't know what you were doing there. Sorry, trying to say I couldn't think of 5 games I'm anticipating. I typed faster than I think. I don't believe that. Steve Carey designed Malta Besieged.
Yeah, Steve Carey's I think it's pretty objective. He's the best State of Siege designer.
Let's see. Malta Besieged would be on Derek Letter's list.
Yep.
He's looking forward to Academy Games Stellaris. Me too, just to see if they can pull it off. They got $6 million on it. I'm sure Uwe and Gunter will pull it off. They're all in on it. They've been working hard on that. And if it brings that type of game to a manageable 2-hour, that's supposed to be where you can just kind of pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. That will be interesting. Phalanx, great company. They sent me new counters for the miscut ones and Fire in the Sky. Well, that is good. Thanks for putting that out there.
New Fire in the Sky looks amazing.
I don't like to mix politics with games. Sure. Vorpal just likes to call me ugly.
Play Euro games then.
That's right. Remember Dunnigan designed and published Arabian Nightmare while the, I don't know what that is going on in Opera Taiwan. Yeah. So Dunnigan was putting out so many games, and the way his mind works, I'm not opposed to it. I just don't know if I would be, I mean, you've got all the Next War China, Next War Korea. I think those are all great, valid games. I like when they're couched in the future. I don't want to play it while it's going on, though. I generally disagree with people because they are highly uniformed. Okay.
Or maybe uninformed.
Maybe. Is that what it was? Oh, I'm sure that's what it was. I figured he was talking about like police. Uninformed. I think you're right. I'm 100% on Putin's side. Goodness, Vorpal. What are you talking about? All right. Operation was, let me read a few of these now before Putin. Yeah, I agree. It wasn't long ago that, okay. See, this is why I'm glad thanks Vorpal. I'm pre-reading now. We'll go down here. Yep. Okay. I think we're good. I agree with many of your comments as we go down, and then we get to Stellaris. I want. Yes.
So to answer Hilltown, he asked, have we played Red Flag over Paris? That's what's his name? I just forgot his French gentleman. But Red Flag over Paris, I've heard amazing things about. It is a kind of an advanced game similar to Fort Sumter, which Mark Herman did. Simple 30 to 60 minutes about Napoleonics. Fort Sumter did not hit the spot for me. It reminded me of Twilight Struggle, just like the dumbed down version. And it's a great game. I'm not looking for a 20 to 30 minute game like that. So it's by Fred Serval.
Perfect. So, I had Fred on because he did. He's doing guest of Robin Hood too, I believe. But it's spelled GES or GUST or something. I don't know what it is.
And if that's something you want to do, that's I've heard it's amazing. It's just not my cup of tea.
Got it.
It reminds me of a game that I really want to play.
Got it. And Vorpal, so you're not wrong here. I try not to mix politics with the show. We're talking more about the war conflict that's going on at the ground. So I'm not in the geopolitical side of it. I'm just saying when I see the news, real people are involved is what I always try to remind myself. Yep. Fred Serval. And then Red Dust, Rebellion, Interstellar, High Frontier 4. I'd say Russ likes himself some, and John Company. I was going to say some space games. John
Company 2nd edition looks fantastic.
Yeah, once again, I don't think I could learn it or get into it, but it looks the idea of where games are going is simply phenomenal. So let's see what else you got, Trevor.
That's it. We got baseball picture day today, so I'll be back at the field. So last year we had a condensed schedule because Rona. So this year's a little extended, so I won't have to do 89 days in a row at the field. So I'm hoping to cut it down to maybe only 30 days in a row at the field.
Wow. Now, before we go, Judd, anything you want to put in the comments? I'm going to have to get Judd back in here. Oh, look at that. Judd read my mind. I just popped up. The Stuka Joe Solo Method package from GMT is about to ship. He had printed off his stuff before, but looking forward to that custom D6. Yeah, what's very interesting there is what Jason Carr's doing with GMT1. The whole idea of even the recognition of solo play. So I would say that's a silver lining that's come out of this whole Rona thing. I grew up in the mountains, a little shy, if you can believe that, but I would just play these games at home. And there were a couple war game groups down in Denver, but I thought, I don't know if I want to do that. And I enjoy head-to-head or group games or whatever, or even con games with big, set piece games. But the idea that, like I said, Mr. President, that idea that I can sit down and get lost in this, like I'm the president and these problems are coming in and how do I resolve? That's a big aspect. Then I kind of learn along the way as well. So, I love to see that GMT is just killing it. I mean, just knowing where they're at and responding to it and having that team that's responding to this solo type play is perfect. So let's see. There's a lead off here with or without beer, Trevor.
I'm on the board for Little League, and we have a killer snack shack. The thing just we go there and stay there because of the snack shack, and we were trying to figure out how to get booze in there. Like some licensing issue. We're in California. Hello, this is going to be not happening. Right.
Green tea. You can get some green tea.
Yeah. We'll get some of those. What do you call those? Like soda beer things. I don't even know what they're called.
Oh yeah, I saw some of those making their way around there. I don't know. Too much whiskey. All right. Well, I'll let you get everyone saying loving it and coming in. I know you've got to go do stuff. I'm going to go check on the lad up here, and then I've got to go see if my unboxing of the race to Moscow is good or not. We'll have to see.
You got to go see if you have Pacific War sitting on your front porch.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to ship. Well, on a Sunday, I don't think I'm going to get it. Although they do occasionally do Sunday deliveries.
They're a privately held company. They ship.
There you go. Zombie game from GMT looks cool. That does actually. That I should have. I don't know when it'll come out. The Plum Island Horror. I'm interested in what's the little wizard game too. It was stuck forever at like a low P500, and now it's going to get made. Wizard Academy? No, I can't remember. So, all right. Well, I got to let you get out of here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Great stuff. Great fun. Judd, if you're on here on this, we need to have you. You can even remote in, Judd, but we'll talk more about that later. All right. Thanks, Trevor.
Bye, guys.
All right. See everybody. Thanks for coming in. Great numbers on the site here.